Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Friends Heartlake frozen yogurt shop. Conceptually at least, it seems like a very good idea to me. They went with a very, I'd say, courageous color scheme with so much of the bright, light spring green color contrasted against magenta and dark purple. I think for some people it might take a little bit of time to kind of grow on you, that color combination. It has definitely taken time for me. It really caught my eye just looking at the box on store shelves, from a distance, like, wow, what is that? That's really different. But I think it can kind of work. You notice this has a drive-through over on the right-hand side, so that could be pretty convenient. But let me actually focus on the main shop first. So up top, just for decoration, they've shown a frozen yogurt cup with a little bit of soft serve in it and some toppings on it. And then this is kind of built up just to give it some extra shape, which is pretty nice. I like the generous use of windows. It lets a lot of light inside, lets you see right through, and provides some nice curvature to the outside rather than just being a boring rectangular shop, regular building. Out front, and you could also put this in the back or on the side, wherever you want it to be. Just a little outdoor dining area with a couple of stools and an umbrella parasol up above that to give you a little bit of shade. Here's a bench just in case you're waiting for someone to catch up, and let's look inside. So just inside the door over to the side, they let you choose between a small cone or a mega giant bucket. I think it's supposed to be like a cone or cup, but that ain't no cup. That is a mega giant bucket. It's ridiculous. It's so huge. My goodness. Over here on the side is a kind of a serving suggestion. I think that these are supposed to be fake foods over here that are just on display in the window to kind of get your appetite up. But they show you this clear glass, which they also had one outside on the table. I guess you can find that somewhere. But this is an example of the mega giant bucket with different toppings on it. So what they've done here is allowed you to put different types of toppings onto your frozen yogurt as you create it yourself. So relative to the size of a mini doll, it's enormous. But the idea there, I think, is mostly to just give you the play options to actually put the toppings on yourself. So over on this side is the wall where you can actually get your soft serve. And it looks like they only have 2 flavors here. Well, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't like that. One of the big things about going to a frozen yogurt place is having the whole wall full of different soft serve machines. Now, there is a little play feature built into this. You turn the thing on the side, and then it kind of shows a little bit of soft serve coming out. This is actually a lot easier to show you like this. You just turn that, and it's supposed to show it coming out. So those are your 2 flavors there. I don't know why this one's red. Well, I know why it's red. It's because they don't have that piece in the pink color. But yeah, it's most disturbing to me that they only have 2 options here. Definitely needed a lot more of those in the place. But the other thing that you need for a proper froyo shop is a toppings bar. So they do have that. They've done a good job with that, with different sauces and also assuming whipped cream that you can get, and then individual topping pieces. Now they don't give you too many of these. The pink one is actually one of those printed strawberry parts. It's just upside down right now. Could have used more, just a larger volume of stuff, but some of it is already in use, for instance, out on the demonstration model. So you can take some of those pieces, and anytime you get a Lego set that has tiny little pieces, like little 1x1 tiles and studs and stuff, you get extras. So there will be some spares in every set, usually at least one of each. Here's the checkout counter, and they've got the scale there for measuring, because most of the time the sales are going to be by weight, by the ounce. They also have a headset for a phone, so I guess they can do some phone ordering. There's just a menu over on the side to remind you of what the options are, and I'm assuming what prices would be. And there's just a person behind the checkout counter, which also is used for servicing the drive-through window, and there's a cash register there. Here's a look at the drive-through. They've got the speaker unit and or megaphone, whichever is which, and the little menu up there on the side. You don't have very far to drive to actually get up to the window. They might as well have just allowed you to order at the window. A couple of stickers around here just to remind you of how you can order and where you're supposed to go. That brings you right up to the window itself, and the window has a ledge outside so that when they present your order to you, they can just set it right there. That's actually pretty smart, especially considering how large that is. And that is one extra froyo that was also included, pre-prepared in the build. So those are some additional toppings that you could spread about however you want. And ultimately, you're going to drive this included car, which I'll show you, up over this impossible bump, which leaves you completely stuck there. You would be completely high-centered and not be able to drive. Fortunately, we have our huge figure fingers to push things through. So once you load up with your order there, yeah, I spilled it on the ground. It's okay, 5-second rule. You've got a couple of convenient spots built into this car for holding on to your giant, mega buckets of froyo, and then you can drive off. Of course, I'm assuming that at some point along the way you would also pay, and they do include one single $100 or 100 Lego currency unit piece to pay for your giant mega bucket. The car is done in pretty much the same style as they've used since the very beginning of the Friends line, so really short and stubby, but it works well with the mini dolls. They have spots for two in there, one driver and one passenger. There's a sticker for the radio over on the side. You're not able to quite reach out to the steering wheel, but that's just an issue that has been around since the beginning. And like I showed you, they've got two spots for your mega buckets on the back. This person really loves her froyo. She's got the I Love Froyo license plate, custom license plate there. And that's just about it. They do put a little bit of glass in the sides for the side view mirrors. And yeah, that's the car. The two mini dolls included in this set are Olivia on the left and Julian on the right. I really appreciate Olivia's top because it's showing that she likes science. She's into chemistry and or physics here. So she's got the basically I love atoms design there. And Julian has just a regular Lego City style of hairpiece. It's a hard hairpiece, not the softer, slightly rubbery style like Olivia has here. So like I thought from the start, this definitely seems like a good idea in concept, and that color scheme is probably going to be pretty polarizing. I have a feeling a lot of folks will love it, a lot of folks will hate it, with very little in between. The overall concept is cool, including the drive-through part. However, I feel like they should have left out the drive-through in order to include more actual soft serve machines. That should have been a long wall with many different options, and they should have given you different colors for the actual base frozen yogurt to come out from those. I think that would have been a more enjoyable experience to go through the process of really choosing between different flavors and experimenting in play with different flavor combinations. The mega bucket is kind of silly to look at next to the mini dolls, but it definitely was a good idea for the sake of play. So I think that was a good compromise there. But I feel like they really did miss out on just the most important things here. Should have been a long line of different machines, and then even a wider bar with more different individual separators, I think, for the toppings. Get the main stuff right first before adding on extra features like the drive-through over here. Overall, I feel like this could really use some improvement. Definitely comes with some interesting colors and a lot of very useful pieces, but I feel like it needs some customization to really bring it to life more properly. Great sticker sheet though, and just a great starting point for creating something more grand. But that's it for my look at and thoughts about this Heartlake frozen yogurt shop. Let me know what you think if you have any thoughts you'd like to share. And I'm going to move on to my next video, so I'll be talking to you again very soon.